CN labels, product formulation statements, or PFS, and food buying guide. We'll be working with Cindy, the new food service director at Bloom Academy, to help her determine whether she can use some products. SFAs are required to know if their menu is meeting the minimum meal pattern requirements. How is that accomplished? Let's help Cindy go through the process. What products can be CN labeled? Main dish products which contribute to the meat alternate component of the meal pattern requirements. Examples of these products include, but aren't limited to, beef patties, cheese or meat pizza, meat or cheese and bean burritos, and breaded fish portions. Raw or unprocessed meat alternates do not need a CN label. In this instance, use the food buying guide for crediting. Here are some helpful resources from the USDA website along with product formulation samples to help Cindy through the process. Are manufacturers required to CN label products? There is no federal requirement that anyone make or purchase CN label products. Purchasing decisions are left at the local level. If a CN labeled product is desired, this must be clearly stated in purchasing specifications when you go out to bid. What should Cindy do? Robert is a salesperson who comes to visit Cindy and tells her about this wonderful pizza she should buy for her school. He says each slice meets 2 meat alternates, the crust is whole grain, and includes 3/4 cups of vegetable. He tells Cindy she can get a great deal if she buys 100 cases of them. What should Cindy do? Ask if it's CN labeled or has a product formulation statement. The advantages of a CN labeled product? A CN label statement clearly identifies the contribution of a product toward the meal pattern requirement, and it protects you from exaggerated claims about a product. A CN label also provides a warranty against audit claims if the CN label product is used according to the manufacturer's directions. A CN label also simplifies cost comparisons of similar products. How do program operators identify a CN labeled product? A CN labeled product will always contain the following: the CN logo, which is a distinct border, the meal pattern contribution statement, a 6-digit product identification number, the USDA F&S authorization statement, and the month and year of final F&S approval, plus the remaining required label features, which are product name, inspection legend, ingredient statement, signature address line, and net weight. Here is what a CN label should contain: the CN logo, the meal pattern contribution statement, the unique 6-digit product identification number, the USDA authorization statement, and the month and year of final F&S approval. The X's in this sample CN logo are only used for demonstration purposes. You should never accept a CN label with X's. Documenting watermarked CN label requirements. If you don't have a CN label from the carton, or a copy or a photo, program operators may provide a copy of the invoice and a hard copy of the CN label copied with a watermark displaying the product name and CN number provided by the vendor, or an electronic copy of the CN label with a watermark. Here is what Cindy gathered during her review using a watermarked CN label. Cindy still needs to collect nutrition information, the ingredient list, and the number of servings per case to use as review backup. Manufacturer's Product Formulation Statement, or PFS. When Cindy purchased a processed product without a CN label, she requested a signed product formulation statement on manufacturer's letterhead that demonstrates how the processed product contributes to the meal pattern requirements. All program operators must maintain files on nutrient information to meet the requirements of program regulations. If there is no nutrition facts panel on the processed product, nutrient information must be obtained from the manufacturer. Product Formulation Statement Requirements. The USDA has guidelines for the requirements of a product formulation statement and examples on their webpage that you can use to guide you. When Cindy reviews product formulation statements prior to purchasing processed products, she completes a reviewer's checklist for evaluating a manufacturer product formulation statement for meat alternate products on the USDA FNS website. Cindy can also look at the product formulation statement templates for documenting the meat alternates, grains, and fruit and vegetable components, which are available on the FNS website at the link below. If Cindy is using USDA Foods, she can gather information from the USDA Foods and Processing website under the green tile Further Processed USDA Foods. Go to the school year you need information for and access the Further Processed USDA Foods Nutrition Information Manual for all the information needed for further processed USDA foods. Cindy is ultimately responsible if a menu does not fulfill meal pattern requirements. Therefore, she must keep records of supporting documentation. It is her responsibility to request and verify that the supporting documentation is accurate. FNS encourages program operators to review product literature carefully, since they are responsible if the meals they serve do not meet meal pattern requirements. Any crediting information received from a manufacturer other than a valid CN label should be checked by the School Food Authority or other program operator for accuracy prior to the item being included in the reimbursable meal. What happens if there is no CN label or PFS? Do not accept anything without a CN label or product formulation statement for main dish meat alternate items. A statement of meal contributions on letterhead that is signed is not acceptable documentation. Crediting grains. To credit a grain item, a program operator may use Exhibit A, a product formulation statement, or if it's a combination item with meat alternate, a CN label. Question: if Cindy can use Exhibit A to credit grains, why should she obtain a PFS? Well, the PFS provides crediting information based on the actual weight of creditable grains in the product. The PFS also discloses the amount of non-creditable grains in the product. A product can credit differently based on the method used, either Exhibit A or PFS. Non-creditable grains. There are some grain ingredients such as oat fiber, corn fiber, bran that do not contribute toward meal pattern components. If purchased grain products include these ingredients, they must be present at a level of less than 2% of the product formula for the product to be creditable in school meal programs. Look for the statement on ingredient labels contains less than 2% of the following, or obtain a PFS from the manufacturer. Check the whole grain resource and download forms for more information. By using these tools, Cindy knows if her main dish products and grain items will meet the meal pattern requirements.
Idaho Child Nutrition Programs is an equal opportunity provider.
If you have any questions, please call 208-332-6820.